Alrighty guys, everyone, it is now December 29th of 2020. We're in the last couple of days of this year before we move on to 2021, which is when we get the Bad Batch, we get the Book of Boba Fett, the Kenobi series begins to film, Dave Filoni's Ahsoka Tano series moves ahead throughout production. I mean, a lot is going to happen for 2021 when it comes to Star Wars. This is Mike Zero. Make sure to subscribe if you are new to the channel for future Star Wars content. Now, one thing about the franchise is that yes, we do have George Lucas, Jon Favreau, Dave Filoni, and other creators working together as a team to really bring Star Wars to its maximum potential. That's exactly what they want to take advantage of. Even Bob Iger talked about this at the Rise of Skywalker premiere, is that they are now just figuring out exactly what they can do with the franchise and how much potential they really have for the future on Disney Plus, and of course for theatrical releases and more. Now, with that being said, obviously, Kathleen Kennedy over the years has been a destructive force on Star Wars. We have seen what she had done with The Last Jedi, and especially with The Rise of Skywalker as a movie, because of all the scenes that she deleted and how she replaced them with other scenes, really making the movie a big mess and causing a big mess during the production of that movie. That actually led to lower box office results in comparison to The Last Jedi because of, well, less, people going ahead and seeing it 2 or 3 times. Now, with that being said, of course, what's really intriguing all has to do with George Lucas as a creator and Kathleen Kennedy over at Lucasfilm. Now, specifically, of course, on top of all of this, with the Mandalorian Season 2 finale finished, Disney and Lucasfilm are focused on their new Star Wars universe and more. It's described that currently creator George Lucas is making major changes behind the scenes over at Lucasfilm in order to regulate the Star Wars franchise with Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni. Now, it's described that recently George Lucas put an end to a major plan by Kathleen Kennedy that was going to fall into Kathleen Kennedy creating her own new Star Wars universe that was going to stem from the Acolyte series by Leslie Headland. However, it's noted that recently George Lucas took this upon with Disney CEO Bob Chapek and put an end to Kathleen Kennedy's planned Star Wars universe that would expand off the Acolyte series. Now, the expansion of her universe was going to expand the character of Maeve, who was set to be portrayed by Brie Larson in The Acolyte. Brie Larson originally had 2 Star Wars TV shows in the works, The Acolyte and another untitled series that was canceled by, of course, finally thanks to George Lucas, making the finalized decision with Bob Chapek to prevent Kathleen Kennedy having a miniature universe within the overall Star Wars universe, if you will. Now, this was going to be a planned phase, if you will, of the new universe by Kathleen Kennedy, essentially. If we go ahead and check out this new universe, they're really treating it like in the form of phases, similar to Marvel, except with creators. So for a great example here, we have Rangers of the New Republic, the Ahsoka Tano show, we've got the Kenobi series, we've got Mandalorian Season 3 and 4, the Book of Boba, all having Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni involved, for starters. And then, we have another batch of TV shows coming out next year where we're going to have brand new writers with Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau assisting them. And it's going to be very interesting to see exactly where Star Wars is going to go from that point on forward. Now, I think that George Lucas obviously made the right decision here to end Kathleen Kennedy's miniature universe that was going to expand off of the Acolyte. That is exactly why she only has one project. That actual decision was finally finalized by George and Bob Chapek. I gotta tell you, I think that Bob Chapek is gonna go down as probably the best Disney CEO. I think he will outperform Bob Iger without a doubt. I really do believe that. I think that when we go ahead and check out what Bob Iger has done and how he has allowed Kathleen Kennedy to do such things with the sequel trilogy, one could argue that Iger was to blame, right? Iger didn't necessarily, kind of stand up for the fans. He just let it all happen as it was rolling out. So, like I've said, I think that what they're trying to do right now is that this is them trying to take care of the fans. It's also damage control. Let's, not sugarcoat anything. Let's face the truth here. It is damage control, in and of itself, it is. But at the same exact time, in Lucasfilm, they really do care about the fans now. We're talking about people like Jon Favreau, Dave Filoni, Peyton, the guy who directed the final episode of Mando Season 2. I mean, there's so many people out there. Robert Rodriguez, which, by the way, please do go ahead and watch his films. Support the guy. He did an excellent job on the, of course, chapter, I believe it was chapter 14 or 15, if I'm not mistaken, that he directed. But he did an excellent job with the Boba Fett-oriented episode, with Fennec and all. So, like I've said before in the past, guys, drop a comment below. Let me know what you think about all of this in the comments, and if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.